I'm ready to move again. I stay moving, okay? I don't know why I move so much, but I do. I think it all started when I was young though. Like, to be honest, a lot of my issues started when I was younger, okay? Like, for real, for real. But on the real, like, I moved quite often as a kid. Then when I got to the age where I thought like I was grown now, and not necessarily because I wanted to do grown people shit, because I really wasn't doing anything, but my mother and I, we did not get along. So when the opportunity came and it was time to move, I was like, hell yeah, I'm moving. And so ever since then, I've also just been moving. Like, I always move. Like, in total, I've probably moved maybe between 10 to 15 times. Like, I really have to sit and like count how many places I've been at. But I'm ready to move again. And I'm not running from myself per se, and I'm not trying to just be all over everywhere, but it's such a routine for me to just like, oh, I'm gonna haul ass now. I don't try to get to know anywhere that I move to, because I know that it's not going to be permanent. Like, I'm just gonna be here for a while. So do I want to have like a permanent spot? I don't know. I haven't allowed myself to think about it, because every time I try to think about it, like, my head start hurting, because I'm like, damn, this is where I'm just gonna spend the rest of my life. Like, I don't know. But I'm sure that you're thinking instability. I don't give a fuck. Okay? Now, I will say this though. Where I moved here a few years ago, actually. And I didn't want to. I have no issues with the place. Never really like traveled here before, but some shit happened. And crazy thing is, I was supposed to move. In the moment that I moved here, I was supposed to move, but not at that same time. I was like planning to move like closer towards like the ending of the year, but it turned out where I had to move in the middle of the year. For me personally, I have to talk myself into things first, honestly. So I had talked myself into where I wanted to move to, but then when shit hit the fan and I had to go, I was like, okay, now I gotta talk myself into this place. And honestly, I just felt like, no, that wasn't my style, it wasn't my speed, but it was one of the better options that I had on a very short notice. So I moved. And it took me a while to even settle mentally and emotionally into where I'm living now, because I'm just like, I do not like this place. I don't care for it. It's my least favorite place. The pace is different. I found a lot of problems that really aren't problems, but because I was against it, I was just like, I'm gonna find issues with it, because that's just who I am. But it turned out that this was one of the best decisions I made, and I know I did not even want to admit that, because I'm just like, I did not want to move here. I never liked the idea of here. But after I like really sit and analyze things, I realized that it was much needed. It allowed me to reconnect with myself in a way that I didn't realize was so far gone. Like, the essence of me lingered, remnants of myself lingered, but pretty much I had kind of pushed them all to the side. Okay, I was just like, like, yeah, it's me, but I ain't gonna deal with it right now. So when life allowed me to sit my ass down and focus on myself in a different way, and removed all my distractions, removed all my hesitations, removed all the things that weren't necessarily hindering me, but it wouldn't have led me to my results in a timely manner. Like, I would have gotten there, but maybe it would have taken a while. So this place allowed me to be completely isolated. Now, to be honest, I was already an isolated person. I think I'll forever be that. And as I said, I don't really try to know the areas that I live at or anything like that, because I know that in a few years I'm gonna go again. But I kind of, I don't know how to explain it, but I shut out a lot of things that contributed to the betterment of me, because as I said, I was just thinking of survival. I wasn't really thinking of living. I'm like, yeah, I'll live one day, but right now I gotta survive. So when I moved here, I was annoyed because I had no other choice but to get to live. No other choice but to pull myself to the forefront and deal with me. Like, this is where I really locked in with my shadow self, with my entire embodiments of Jade, and did the work. So it turned out to be a move that was completely necessary, that I did not want to do, because I wasn't running from myself, but I wasn't really ready to deal with myself. I wanted to just go about life how I was going about it, because I felt like I needed to accomplish my goals that I set out to accomplish. And then when I got here, I realized after a while, because I was still stubborn, I'm not gonna lie, I was still stubborn, I was still adamant that I don't want to be here. And then one day, I don't know, one day it all kind of shifted, and I started like looking into myself, like for real, and I'm like, oh, I am my own blockage. So it turned out to be something beautiful, and I really like it, because I'm not yet healed, I'm not gonna lie and act like, oh, I'm just so magical and whatever. I am magical, but I'm not healed yet. I am healing though. So yes, but I like it because I got to meet myself again, and we talked through some things. We had some very emotional conversation. We had some really tough talks and some tough decisions, and it caused me to also close chapters that were, I thought was meaningful. Honestly, I had looked at them like, oh, this is cool, this will never end. But then when you like really zone in on it, you realize that there's no foundation. It was always at ground zero. Like, it was always right here. Like, it did not grow. And trust me, some of those chapters I had to close. It involved dating, and it involved just friends. Like, I remember there was a friend that, well, there were a few friends that I lost, especially during the time that I was dealing with my grandma's death. I'm not gonna act like I was just peachy keen and a ray of sunshine to deal with. No, I was mourning, but I was in denial that I was mourning, because I blocked it out. Like, when I got here, she had passed the same year that I got here, and that made it worse. I wanted to haul ass. I wanted to leave immediately, because I'm like, see, this is not starting off too good. Like, this is not off on a good start. I want to leave. And so I was very much in my head. I was in a very dark place, but I didn't acknowledge the fact that I was in a dark place. I did push away my friends. I did push away my partner. I did just like, I didn't really care who was in my life for real. I never looked at it like, oh, well, it was neither here nor there for me. Now, should you take advantage of people? Or should you be an asshole because you are grieving? No. But I gotta own up to my shit. I stayed to myself. I just secluded myself even more than before. And there were some friendships that I thought meant a lot to me. But then when some real challenges came along, I realized that the people who I had around me, they were just surface level. They really were. Like, don't get me wrong, great people. There is no friend that I've ever had that I won't say isn't a great person. The way how they go about stuff is just a little bit different, and the way that I go about things are a little bit different. So when I started healing, I realized that, or demons, for lack of better words, were no longer in agreement. The things that we bonded over was not necessarily substantial, so there was no point to it. In the process of healing, I decided that I was just going to mourn everything. I sat with myself and I don't know, there's a thing that I do. When we become friends, and I know you're going to say, Jay, don't do that. That's negative. When we become friends, I warn you. I warn you. It's not that I don't believe that we will make it. It's not that I don't believe that beautiful things won't come from our union or friendship, whatever you want to call it. It's just that I know that there's going to be a time when one of us has to depart, whether it be by death or by just us walking away or whatever. Now, is that a very dark and twisted way to go about things? Probably. But I've been doing that since I was a kid. Like, I don't know. That's how I deal with people who are just not in my life. Like, I already mourned you. So when you leave my life, I'm like, oh, okay, that's fine. Like, it doesn't affect me. So once we become friends, I sit and I grieve you. Let me use that word. Maybe that doesn't sound so deathly. But I will grieve you. I will grieve you for the fact that one day we will depart from each other's life. Those people and I, we were friends for a long time. And I appreciate them. I appreciate every part of our journey together. I appreciate every disagreement. I appreciate just everything. Once you are my friend, it means that I care for you a particular kind of way. And that will never be erased. Once I care for you, I'll always care for you. It's just that now you don't have access to me. But I will never wish ill on you. I'll never speak badly about you. We cool. We're forever cool. We just on different wavelengths right now. I was forced to sit with myself because I was entering a very dark place, darker than it has ever been for me. I was being consumed by some things, man, some thoughts, some ways that would eventually no. I realized that it's kind of like life was telling me that I needed to be in this moment for what was coming, and what was coming was her death, but I just didn't know that. And in that moment when it came, it was going to take me to a place where if I was in another environment, it would have consumed me. And it would have consumed me in a way that would take the light away from me, and everything about me going forward would have been complete and utter darkness. I hope that makes sense to you. So being here allowed me to maneuver some things that were real life. So I dealt with it. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the place that I was at that accommodated that huge shift in my life. I reconnected with myself, and here I am. Okay? Now, I am still gonna move because I'm okay now. I'm okay, like really and truly. But I'm ready to move again because I don't know, will I ever really find a place and just call it home and just make it my one stop? I don't know. Okay? I don't know. I haven't met that place yet. But there are a few places that I've been at that could have been home, honestly. But no. There's always something missing. So now, will I always be in search of something? I'm not searching for anything. Honestly, things just happen for me because I guess it's just the thoughts that I have. I just create new realities for myself, and I'm cool on that. So wherever I move to next, I can handle whatever else life is going to throw at me, because this place that I isolated myself at was a necessary stepping stone. So now, I'm ready to move now. I've learned my lesson. I've gathered my thoughts. I've done the work. and now it's time to act accordingly. But yeah, I haven't decided where I want to move to yet. So if I ever decide on that, I'll tell you. Like, I'm not in any rush right now to move again, but I know that I will be moving again because it's just who I am. It's just who I am. So yeah, let me know if that is something that you do as well. I know that my approach to life is pretty unorthodox. To be honest, I'm making my world a bit at a time, a reality at a time. And I'm doing this for me. And it feels good to be doing something for myself. I've spent a lot of my life doing for others, helping them. Not necessarily putting myself last, but just kind of neglecting myself in certain aspects so that everything else and everyone else around me can be situated. Especially like who I consider to be family. Because, you know, you can be born into a family, but that don't mean that because they're your blood, they're your family. You can choose who you want to be family. And sometimes with those people, I go and ensure that they're straight. And like, okay, I'll deal with me later. Just as long as these people that I care for, they're good. Now, I'm making sure I'm good first. And it's new, okay? It's new, and sometimes I'm like, it's a little bit selfish. But then I'm like, I don't give a fuck. It's myself. And as I said, I got reintroduced to the girl inside of me that I promised that I was going to come back to real quick. And it's been years. And I held her hand again, and she forgave me. And she's like, just let's do this together. You don't have to leave me in the dark again. You don't have to throw away the key again as it pertains to you and I. You don't have to hide what you're facing, what you're dealing with, and go at it alone. I want to be there with you. That's myself to myself. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to leave you stranded this time. So let's go. So now we've rekindled and we're going about things on our terms, and what is to be will be, and who's supposed to be here will be here. And I'm pretty sure there will be more bonds that I'm probably going to lose because, you know, evolution, it takes, but it also gives. So that's where I'm at. So yeah, take it easy on yourself, and sometimes it's okay to block out the noise and just focus on your voice. And I promise you, you are a lot stronger than you think, honestly. So let's do this, okay? Okay, so I'm gonna stop yapping now. I've made a few videos today. I'll obviously decide what I'm gonna put out because sometimes I'm just like, girl, no. But I'm gonna try to not do that anymore. I'm gonna just try to put out whatever was on my mind. And you know, fuck it. But yeah, I'm happy. I've been smiling, like genuine smiles. Like I like it. I love it. Actually, it's new. And there are times when I'm like, when is the next shoe gonna drop? But then I'm like, I don't care if the next shoe drop, because I can walk it. You know, it'll fit. I can do this. I'm not scared. Fear only exists in your mind. Things only consume you if you allow it. Okay? Okay. So just remember who you are. And let's go do this journey, okay? All right. Enjoy your day now. I don't want to be just a memory. Time is up, you're over us. Cause I think I might do anything for you. If it's not, let me. The time I thought that we would have is taken from red to black. And I say things I can't take back, and I don't know how to live it back. There's a darkness that I've known, but I know I don't let you see. And I know that I can't be great. Take this back from me.
Dear God, there's a ask. And I don't wanna hear it from a human, you made it, so you're the last person that I'm ever gonna ask. Tell me what's real, tell me what's fake. Why is everything about you a debate? I can't sleep cause the devil won't let me rest. I used to know a fucking pastor in a church, and I can still hear the screams of the kids who were fucking